Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central.
Boy, those breaks are really short, aren't they? Welcome to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, we're going to talk to Richard Johnson from Insurance Council of Texas and Daniel Ambruster from AAA. They got a new program out there to make people arrive alive. Ooh. So we're going to talk to them about that. We have to talk about insurance. We will. God. Twist my arm. And then Conrad's going to have the In Wheel Time Car Clinic. What's that going to be about today?
Synthetic oil. What is synthetic oil and why is it better for your car than conventional oil?
I actually have to get mine changed. I'm not thinking about doing it myself.
Really?
Yeah.
You can. It's not that hard.
No, not my car's not.
Your biggest struggle is where do you dispose of what
Exactly.
you have right now.
It's very easy. Very easy. Take it to where you bought the
Yeah,
oil.
that's exactly right. Yeah.
Some of them will take it back, but not all.
Almost all of them take it
into
back.
something.
Well,
So
yeah.
you take a gallon jug. You take.
Well, there was a point in time when dealerships who do lots of oil changes would sell their old oil back to somebody who collected it.
Or sell it to somebody that had a worn-out engine that went through quarts of oil a day.
Oh. No, they'd sell it back to somebody who would. I don't know that they recycled it. I'm not real sure what they did.
They
with
recycle oil now.
it. But yeah, they would sell their oil back.
The
and
big
they'd
box
make a little
stores
bit
like,
of money on
the,
it.
like the Walmarts and things, they'll take it back.
Advance Auto Parts, I know, takes the oil up here.
Yeah.
And the O'Reilly's always takes oil. No big deal. You
Yeah.
just walk in the back. There's a big drum back there and
It's
dump
just
it
the
in.
point of getting the jack out and all that and crawling under it and, all that.
That's the issue,
Yeah.
especially with me.
Well,
and me.
and today, it wasn't that long ago you can get your oil changed for, $20-$30. Now it's
100.
$70 to $100.
Yeah, it used to be, when I was with Excel, I would buy my oil at cost and then take it up to a place and they would do it.
Yeah, that's when you could get it at cost. Now I got a guy that he'll change it, and he does my inspection. He puts my license plate sticker on. He does all that. I don't even get out of the car.
I was going to say, what
I
do
pull
you
up there.
do?
Nothing. I pull up there and I look at my phone
Slides
while
of a
he's
credit
changing
card.
the oil. That's it. I hand the credit card out the window.
And what's the name of this place?
It's right there in Groves.
Oh,
Goober Lube.
Cooper.
Yeah, Goober does a great job, and he does.
He's
it
the
quick.
guy that buys the old oil.
That's right.
That's what's going in your car.
Exactly.
All right.
Thank you, Goober.
Let's see.
We lost track.
We did. Sorry. This is a car show, but honest to God, it's got to be on rails because we go off of them quite frequently. Richard Johnson, Insurance Council of Texas, and Daniel Ambruster, AAA Texas. Oh, my God. 2 insurance guys. Are we kidding? At the same time?
Uh-oh.
Well, as you're talking, thanks for having us. We're excited about this. But as you're talking through oil changes, I'm in the middle of restoring a 1980 MGB in the garage, and so an oil change seems quite simple right now compared to the.
Why would you take on a rebuild of an MG? I'm sorry, I don't quite understand that.
It's like painting the Golden Gate Bridge. You never stop rebuilding.
You never stop. Yep.
Exactly right. So why are you taking that project on? Does it mean something to you?
No, not at all. It was it was one of the most interesting impulse buys ever, but it's been a lot of fun. I've had the kids out in the garage. I've taught them how to change oil, how to change tires, before they were 13, 14 years old. So it's been fun. My wife has a radius of about 2 miles around the house where she'll actually ride in it. Anything beyond that, she doesn't trust it, which is probably wise.
Because she knows she's going to have to get out and help you push it back to the garage.
Yeah, she's had many calls where it's like, can you bring the tow rope in the Jeep?
You have to back it off the trailer for her.
Are you in the Houston market?
I'm actually in San Antonio.
Okay.
I'm actually in San Antonio.
Yeah, they're having an all-British car show next weekend at the Butler House in Spring, Texas. And the reason they chose that place is because there's a lot of wrecker companies around it.
Yeah, there's actually one in 2 weeks or 3 weeks maybe up in Bernie, which is close to here in the hill country. So
you had no clue that when you went on the air with us, you were going to get lambasted about your car.
about my MG. Yeah, gosh, if I had my camera reversed, I actually have a drawing of it that somebody did for me up on the wall in front of me. So
what does the Insurance Council of Texas do?
Sure. So we are actually the largest state trade organization for the property and casualty. So that's your home, your auto, your commercial insurance. So all of our members are companies like AAA. And so what we do is we advocate on behalf of insurance and try to educate people on insurance, what it does, how to file claims, what kind of insurance to have. As well as work with the Texas Department of Insurance and the Texas Legislature on keep making sure that we have a robust insurance market.
So, in other words, you know how to do the kind of thing all the time.
And you also do some of this lobbying for legislation, if I'm correct.
So we don't lobby. We have there's other groups that do that work. We try to be more of an informational and educational organization rather than be lobbyists.
Okay.
So well, you give the information to the lobbyists and let them go do their work.
Sure.
Sure, that's it. That's
good answer.
That's good. Daniel Ambruster.
What do you drive? How can we pick on you next?
What do you got, a Yugo?
We've got a Lexus RX and a Tesla. So sometimes those Teslas, I get a little comment. But yeah.
The Good Lexus morning, for the long distance drive and the Tesla for the around town stuff.
It usually works out that way.
Yeah. So where are you at AAA Texas? You in Dallas?
I'm based in Coppell. That's where our regional Texas headquarters is for the entire state of Texas.
Dallas.
So, in the DFW area. Yeah, we're just north of DFW Airport.
Yep, I know where you are. Well, so why do we have you guys on here?
Well, from an insurance standpoint, really ever since the pandemic, we started to see everybody's auto rates are going up.
Yeah.
Everybody's insurance rates are going up.
And so there's the reason for the hate headed your way. And we're sorry about that, but, you put it on yourself.
Even us in the industry, we're, my personal auto insurance has gone up. And so what we did was we started to look at the why. Why is it going up? Yes, it is the economy. It is inflation. It is the cost to repair, replace vehicles. But really one of the big ones is people are driving faster. They're driving more distracted, and accidents are getting more severe. And Daniel can kind of talk about that. I'm here to make sure that everybody has the right kind of insurance, but Daniel and AAA, they've been a great partner on this campaign, Survive the Drive and Arrive Alive. With some of their great statistics and information on
well, really I have to tell you that I see your commercials and Progressive and all of those commercials that are on television, but I have a great relationship with my own personal insurance guy. His name is Rick Toman. He's an Allstate guy out in Katy. I met him through the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Oddly enough, we were on the same committee for a number of years together, and we became friends. And he says, "Yeah, I sell insurance." He said, and I said, "Well, I've been with Allstate. Well, I'm an Allstate dealer." And he says, "Well, I can't take you because you're going to have to write a letter to Allstate because you just can't change insurance agents like that on a drop of a hat." And he said, I said, "Okay, no problem." So I called mine. I said, "I want to switch." And he says, "Send me a letter." And I sent him, a 2-paragraph letter. No hurt going the other way. Just that I wanted to go and give my business to Rick. And it was a pretty easy process, and I have no regrets. And I know that if I had an issue or had a question about my insurance, I'd call Rick on the phone. He'd answer the phone, and he'd give me the answer. I might not like the answer, but he would give me the answer. And so I think personally that it's nice to have, it's kind of like your banker.
A relationship
with somebody at your insurance agency. And I know with all these commercials that are on television now, it's just a phone call away and you get some nondescript person on the other end. But I don't work that way. And I know that there are agents still out there that have that personal relationship with their clients.
Yeah, it's really important to have a relationship with your insurance agent and working with one if you have questions about your policy, making sure you have the right type of coverage. Y'all are talking about insurance rates going up, and as Rich alluded, there have been a lot of crashes related to risky driving behavior over the last few years. If we could reduce some of those risky driving behaviors just a little bit, it would probably make a huge dent in the cost of insurance market wide in Texas, just because there's just so many crashes related to speeding, distractions, and just overall general inattentiveness or aggression behind the wheel.
Both of you, do you have your own agencies, or you sit on the council? So I would imagine you came up through a ranking somehow, or
so.
Yeah,
go ahead,
Rich. Daniel. No, yeah, I was just going to say. So we're an independent nonprofit that just represents the industry.
I got
so I'm
you.
not. Yeah,
Okay.
we don't sell insurance.
Okay, because I was going to ask, is it
But
best
AAA does it, and as well as their great auto club that they have. So.
to get uninsured motorist insurance? Because I see a lot. I'm on the road every day, and I see a lot of crazy activity, and I'm thinking that person can't have either a license or insurance.
And then you look at their car, and
Yeah.
if they did have insurance, they never used it because all four corners are bashed
or they've got a
in.
paper tag that's no longer legal. That kind of stuff.
So in some of the information you sent, you were talking about the number of fatalities and some different aspects. One of it is the distracted driving and the aggressive driving. And like Jeff said, you see some weird stuff, and some of it out, particularly out on Interstate 10. It's more like Raceway 45 getting to be 3 lanes wide, and you better be in the right-hand lane if you're going to go the speed limit. And, but there's people, and to me, it's generally, from what I can see and based on the cars they drive, it's the younger guys or the younger people, let me put it that way, that seem to be the more aggressive driver, putting up on your bumper there and trying to get you to move out of the way or instead of going around, that kind of thing.
Well, keep right except the pass, Mike.
Well, if I'm doing
A recent AAA study showed that it's younger men, and guys 25 to 35. That's where you see the most of it, but really it does spread across all age groups when it comes to distracted driving, and it's a big problem. In Harris County last year, there were nearly 11,500 crashes that they could attribute to distracted driving. Of course, there were many more than that likely, but it's hard to always attribute these types of crashes. So we don't actually really know how many crashes there are out there, but we know that there's a lot that are counted for and likely a lot that are not counted for.
Interesting.
Well, I have to tell you that, and I drive the Beltway 8 here a lot every day, and the speed limit that's posted is 65. And exactly. And I now am doing 75 and getting past. And there are police that patrol the roadway.
And don't do anything.
And they don't do anything unless you're doing 100. And I find that I don't understand that. Why not? Why don't they enforce the speed limits, or at least
something close
to it, or anything over 10 miles an hour, you're going to get stopped and get a ticket. Why don't they do that? What's
Hey, I'm not going to speak on behalf of the police. Yeah, I'm going to stay on the good side of that one. So
we need to save that for Sergeant Woodard. But I think some of it, I really do believe some of it, from talking to the guys, the local down there where I live, a lot of it depends on, there's a safety factor. Now, if the traffic flow may be doing, you're 75, and then here comes a guy that's doing 80. He's passing people, but he's not
crazy,
doing stupid.
Right.
And so then they have to weigh, well, do I get out in the middle of the traffic and I got to pull him over and disrupt the traffic flow? Is it more dangerous to pull him over? Now, you get the guy that's doing 110 and he's zigging and zagging and all the way through. They'll generally go after that guy, but it's, for what they tell me, they have to look at that a little bit.
Okay. Well,
never stopped him from pulling me over, but I'm just saying.
You get pulled over all the time.
You were zigging and zagging.
Yeah.
I have to ask you, is there a special discount for people like me that are old?
So depending on the company, there are a variety of discounts. There's companies that have, military discounts. If you have certain safety devices on your automobile, they'll offer discounts. One that's super important to me right now, I got a teenage driver. It's that good student discount. I ride him about his grades because once I put him on my policy a year ago, it went up. So there are discounts available. Normally, it's not age related or any kind of demographic related, but if you belong to an alumni association, sometimes those that also can get you a discount with certain companies.
Is it true? Is it true that if you have a bad credit rating, that your insurance is going to be higher?
Oftentimes, not all the time. Companies have different formulas, the way that they look at how much to charge for premium and whatnot. But it definitely a better credit score is going to help you out most of the time when it comes to the cost of insurance.
It's a long way of saying yes.
Does AAA offer a discount if a customer drives with a data logger in their vehicle?
We do. We have a program, and it's all done through a cell phone app now. But where you can monitor your speed and your driving activity. And if you're a good driver, you save money, and that's a great deal.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I have to leave my phone at home.
I'm just going to say, you don't have your phone on, sir. Because this guy over here is the speed demon of all.
That'd be nice.
Well, no. I mean, I'm serious.
The flip phones usually don't work with the apps. So.
Flip phones.
Man,
Busted.
You've got him pegged.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I also know that the car can be monitored through systems like OnStar. OnStar can track, though they don't ever really admit it. They can track not just location, but speed. They can track the force of braking. They can track the force of acceleration. So they can see when you're heavy
Drag
on
racing.
the gas. They can see when you're doing something silly.
Yeah, there's quite a few companies out there, and AAA is one of them that do have, they call it BBI or behavior-based insurance, where it tracks if you're a hard braker, if you're a jackrabbit starter, if you speed frequently, if you're using your phone obviously detects if your phone is on and being used for other things than say navigation or the insurance or the BBI program, the behavior-based insurance program. But it's actually a really great program. Most insurance companies, not only do their customers save money, but they've noticed that people become hypersensitive to it. And so they start to drive better. They don't speed. They don't, hard brake. They don't do those risky behaviors because they're being judged. It's,
somebody's watching you.
Yep, exactly.
Big insurance companies like AAA, do they have a program for people like myself, collector cars or fancy cars that don't get driven a lot?
Yeah, we work with a lot of car clubs, and certainly, if you have a specialized vehicle, you can definitely still get coverage on that, but it's going to vary from situation to situation.
Gotcha. So again, a good relationship with your insurance guy would be helpful.
Yep.
Definitely.
There's a lot of the bigger companies may contract out with some of those specialized insurance companies. My little MG counts as a classic, and so I can. It's a lot less expensive to insure that than it is my daily driver, and it's definitely less insurance, less cost than what my teenage driver costs me.
Would you happen to know if a rate is changed with these hands-free driving vehicles that we see? The commercials, hands-free driving to me looks dangerous. Would there be increases on that, or do they look at that?
It's a good question. We know from AAA studies, as you point out, hands-free driving looks dangerous, and that's because it is dangerous. It's a cognitive distraction. Your hands, your eyes, and your brain have to be focused on driving, and if all three of those aren't focused on driving, you're distracted. You're a danger on the road.
Interesting.
So you own a Tesla. Have you let your Tesla go hands-free for you?
I get a little nervous I don't talk on the phone in the vehicle if it's moving, but I get a little nervous even with the self-driving, automation that's in the vehicle still. And that's like most consumers, right? Still getting used to this technology, still understanding it. The driver assistance technology that is available. You have to remember it's there as assistance. It's not there to be the driver, which is a big problem that we see as a more ADAS technology or automated vehicle technology gets installed into newer vehicles.
Richard,
the perception is that it can do it for you, not help you, but do it for you. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Richard,
we're just not there yet. I just don't. The technology is not there yet. We could be decades away. I know there's some companies out there that say that they're less than that, but I think that fully autonomous, to me, it's if you're gonna have an autonomous vehicle, there's no steering wheel, and then the liability shifts. We got it, and I think that's something that the insurance companies and auto companies need to think about in the future: is where does that liability lie when it comes to those fully autonomous vehicles.
Richard, where can we get more information on Survive the Drive?
Yeah, it's actually insurancecouncil.org/survive the drive, and then AAA has a lot of great information. You want to?
We have AAA.com. Of course, you can find the latest information on distracted driving. Go to AAA.com/don't drive distracted. We have a campaign. Don't drive intoxicated, don't drive intoxicated. Both have deadly consequences. You can learn more about the campaign. And in fact, there's a documentary on there that the Houston Police Department produced and AAA sponsored called Sidetracked. And it's all about the distracted driving issues in Texas.
Perfect. So, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us.
Got more questions?
Go ahead.
No. We got to go. I understand, but I just got more questions going on. We need to talk to him again.
We will come back. I'll come back anytime you guys want. This is, and I won't even have to talk about insurance. I'll talk about
the damn MG.
Talk about my troubles with MGs and electrical issues and all sorts of fun
What brand trailer do you have it rolled up on?
Exactly.
Mine actually runs. I gotta say, knock on wood, mine actually does. As much as I joke about it, it actually is a pretty good runner. It's done me pretty well. I got it tuned up a couple of years ago where it's running real nice, as they say.
Real nice. Gentlemen, thank you both so much. We appreciate you.
Hey, thank you very much. And remember, arrive alive, survive the drive.
You got it. Richard Johnson, Insurance Council of Texas, and Daniel Ambruster, AAA of Texas. Time now for Conrad's Car Clinic. And I don't think we got to that last week either, did we?
No, that's okay. So, synthetic and conventional oil will both protect your engine, but synthetic oil actually does a better job of it, in my opinion.
And what is synthetic oil?
Well, it still starts as dead dinosaurs.
So it starts as actual oil.
Yeah, and then it goes through the oil companies synthesize it. If you looked at it, and I'm just trying to give you a visual of it. If you looked at the oil molecules close up, conventional oil would be like basketballs, softballs, and golf ball size, and then two pieces of metal on both sides of it sliding around. So why conventional oil breaks down faster than synthetic oil? Because the only point of contact you have on conventional oil early in its life is the basketball size ones. And then as those break down, you move down to the softball size ones. And then as those break down, you move down to the golf ball size ones. Well, the oil molecule is very rough as well. It's not smooth. So there's lots of places for dirt to hide. Yeah, the oil goes through a filtration device to pull all that dirt out, but it doesn't get all of it out. So in synthetic oil, what they do is they synthesize the oil. They try and figure out which molecule is the best size to use, and they kind of smooth it out so it loses a lot of those rough edges. And now you've got that point of contact. There's way more points of contact in that molecule between those two pieces of metal that are pressing together. So it's less stress on the oil and it doesn't break down as fast.
What is a syn blend?
It's partial conventional and partial synthetic.
Why not go to the whole full synthetic then?
Cost, price,
But you can do it.
Oh yeah. Well, full synthetic oil is going to cost, and don't hold me to this, but it's going to cost you generally $10 to $12 to $15 a quart.
So they basically filter out what you said: basketball, softball, golf ball. They filter out one of those
sizes. Right.
And then that's how they, okay.
Yeah, and it's not that they filter out. It goes through a synthesizing process to bring them all down to the same size. So they may break the basketballs down into softball sizes.
Okay.
And then try and smooth them out. So the smoother the oil is, the less chance there is for dirt and debris to hide within the molecule. So it's easier for it to deliver to a oil filter. You got to think today, oil filters, there are specific oil filters for synthetic oil. And if, you want to use the right oil filter with the right oil. And, one of the things about synthetic oil, people talk about it has a little more propensity to leakage. Well, the molecule is generally smaller than a conventional oil molecule, so can it leak a little bit easier? Yes, but that's really not much of an issue. In today's cars, oil leakage, they've done a real good job of controlling it. So, yeah, synthetic oil is improved engine protection because it offers superior lubrication, reducing friction and wear on the engine components. It provides better protection against heat, oxidation, and sludge formation, ensuring the longevity and efficiency of the engine. My opinion is a normal conventional oil change needs to happen every 5,000 miles. On full synthetic, I think you can go 8,000 miles on that. As long as you change it regularly. Now, some of these crazy manufacturers that say, just change it once every 15 to 25,000 miles, I think you're asking for problems. Mm-hmm. So I'm a firm believer in 7,500 miles being your max oil change interval. If you're using conventional oil or a synthetic blend, change it every 3
to 5. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir. A couple of recalls to tell you about. So one is the Jeep Gladiator and Jeep Wrangler for 22 to 23 models. Disabled reverse lights and camera. Improperly heat-treated suspension bolts on the Cadillacs, the Chevrolets, and the GMCs. Escalade, Suburban, and Yukon for 2023. These are recalls. Windshield wipers may fail on the BMWs, the 7 Series for 2023. Rolls-Royce Ghost, I know you've got one of those.
Yep.
2021 to 2023 instrument cluster glass may break in a crash. Well, that's okay.
That's why I have AAA.
A new reason for BMW, buy my wipers.
Now, Subaru, Accent, Impreza, Legacy, Outback, drive shaft may disconnect.
Only once.
Yeah, that's right. And it's launched across itself.
Well, I find it funny that the drive shaft may disconnect. They're all-wheel drive vehicles. Subarus
Lots of Hyundais are being recalled. One for rear seat belts may not operate, and the ABS unit may cause an engine compartment fire. That's a serious issue, and they're telling people to park outside. Don't park it in the garage. Almost every Hyundai that they make, 2011 through 2015, and same thing for the Kia engine compartment fire. So the easy way to do it, go to safercar.gov and type in your VIN number, and it'll tell you if yours is part of the recall.
And do that often.
Time now for a quick break here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Back after this.
The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends.
Rogers Dab Chevrolet and GM Performance is proud to be a part of America's largest block party. It's the 27th annual Cruising the Coast, October 1st through the 8th. Great antique, classic, hot rod, and dragsters all along a 30-mile stretch of beach. Bay St. Louis, Biloxi, Gulfport, Ocean Springs, Pascagoula, and more. Rogers Dab Chevrolet and GM Performance will be on site October 5th through the 8th at the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum, manning the Chevrolet trailer displays. Come see us for additional information at cruisingthecoast.com. Biggest race in the country. Also, Rogers Dab Chevrolet GM Performance is proud to be a part of the 10th annual Lone Star 600 at Devil's Bowl Speedway in Mesquite. October 6 and 7, $25,000 to win. Any car can race and is locked into the race. 300 laps both nights, 7 o'clock start times. Racers from all around the U.S. and beyond. Additional information at LoneStar600.com. Rogers Dab Chevrolet and GM Performance.
The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Loopy Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that help make Lupe Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupe Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupe Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupe's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Lupe Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupe Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupe Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.